What is good, everyone, and welcome back to the Nostalgia Podcast. My name is Taylor, aka Nostalgia. Joining me is Kay Likes Everything. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I miss you guys. I know we've had crazy schedules, but we make it work here at Nostalgia Plus Ultra.
It is what it is. This is episode 92. I want to make sure I say that out loud to myself.
I love that. That's my favorite year.
92. So it's. I was telling Zoe about this. I think it was during either the Gorillas episode the last episode or one before. I was like, I didn't realize how many episodes we had made until I started like doing the post-production stuff for it. And I was like, oh damn, we're at 90 episodes already.
What episode did I jump in? What number? Do you remember?
Episode good God, I don't know. Hold on.
I feel like it was in the 60s, I feel.
Hold on. I have my well, your first guest appearance is different.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see. What episode did Kayla join in? I have our RSS log episodes up.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of our other episodes like that you've done. Okay, episode 52 is your official.
Oh, okay, I was close.
Episode 52 is your official, and then episode 47, which Sports Anime is Gay, is your first appearance.
The first appearance. Nice. Love that. That's very fun.
So making the distinction to make sure editing Taylor knows that this is episode 92 and that the episode I just recorded with Zoe earlier this morning is episode 93.
Oh, okay. So we're going first.
Yes. We're going first because to kind of prep everything, we're doing a spooky season type of theme for October. Mm-hmm. And so we are kind of going through some horror genre anime for each week of October leading up into Halloween. And so we're going to kind of, figure out what we're talking about. The first, since I already recorded it, the first episode of our spooky season series is Perfect Blue. Mm-hmm. It's like a psychological horror, and it's psychological horror movie that is very popular in the general space of anime. When people talk about like 90s anime, when people talk about like older anime and how good it was, usually people are going to bring up Perfect Blue. Yeah. And there are a lot of inspirations from other movies that bring in stuff from Perfect Blue, Black Swan specifically. Mm-hmm. And so funny enough, to kind of prep us this week for next week's episode, me and Kayla are talking about a show that's not necessarily spooky, but one that gets a little unsettling, that just recently came out not too long ago, about I think 8 days ago or something like that, or the time it was recorded like 12, I think. Yeah,
it's been like less than 2 weeks and they already have over 10 million views. Like they're killing it right now.
Yes. So we are talking about Dana Terrace's new show, Knights of Guinevere.
Woo!
Man,
I'm so excited.
This is such it's web series like on YouTube or things that like I was never really kind of like following or into. I know you guys watch like Digital Circus all the time. Yeah. You guys watch Big Top Burger all the time. Yep. And so like those YouTube web series was never really something that I was kind of like had like a spotlight on in my own personal fandom. Is. Like you see a lot of cool indie projects on there. And then obviously me and you talked about I really don't want to be a magical girl, which I hope actually gets picked up to be a full show.
I hope it does. Yeah. That's such a good one.
It was really good. So I think that, this kind of genre, especially where somebody like Dana Terrace, who worked on who's the co-creator of Owl House, or created it actually, Owl House.
I think she's the creator of Owl House.
And then worked on probably other shows at Disney, and Owl House didn't get the respect as far as getting a full conclusion and got cut off early. And so you can kind of tell, and we'll get into this in some of our initial thoughts, you can kind of tell that not necessarily she's holding a grudge with the show, but a lot of pent up feelings about her time at Disney are bleed into the show a lot in terms of its world building and its overall approach to what the story is trying to say, I guess.
And I think that Disney is just one of the jabs that's being made, because I think it's just, in general, it's big production studios versus creators. It's always the studio versus the creators, because once a studio gets too big, guess what? You belong to the shareholders of that studio. And time after time again, the shareholders are typically pansies, and they are afraid of losing any sort of profit. So what ends up happening, actually, it's really great that I'm so like grungy today, because I'm like, fight the man, fight the studio. I think that what happens time and time again is creators will have new ideas for new movies and new shows that are super innovative, but depending on the subject and depending on the characters and what they might be going through, stakeholders will be like, well, are we sure that that's going to make money? How will it make money? We should probably just spit out another Toy Story. And then we'll be at Toy Story 17. And Woody will have no legs because we just keep spitting out the same story. And there are so many stories that still need to be told. But they can't come to the surface because at the end of the day, the studio is going to go, well, we know it'll at least do good enough because nostalgia will always bring people to the theaters. Yeah. They will always be pulled in.
Very safe IPs.
Very safe IPs will always have a place, and there's no need. I don't mean to go on like a super side rant, but my friend Diana was in town the other day, and we were talking about Disney movies and movies in general, animation specifically, because I just made her download Letterboxd, which if you don't have a Letterboxd, you should if you like movies. And she's like, oh, I feel like I'm skewing my scale because I watch a lot of animation, and a lot of animation for me is a 5, because when it makes it to the movies, like, she's like, I feel like a lot of them deserve their flowers. So she was doing a lot of like classic Disney movies and blah, blah, blah. And she came on the subject of talking about the live action Snow White that came out. And she was like, this didn't need to be a movie. This didn't need to be remade. It was overly CGI. The evil queen did not do a good job. And she's like, and what's really sad is that they didn't market it right, because it's supposed to feel like an actual musical, like a theater musical, and it's paced that way. But theater musicals and movie musicals are paced very differently. And if you don't set that expectation, like for Wicked, for example, which was going to do well regardless because it's great, but if you don't set that expectation, it kind of throws people for a loop and makes you not want to watch it. And she's like, the movie was just bad. And I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, yes, Snow White's IP is always going to be powerful because it's the first movie that came out from Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I'm so happy it bombed. But how many more Disney movies have to bomb before Disney wakes up? This is why we're going to have such a great conversation today.
Yeah, also too, there's like, what sucks is you get situations where like good animated movies flop because Disney doesn't put any marketing into them, and then they go, well, we tried, and then it's like, no, you didn't actually.
No, you didn't. Actually, no, you didn't, because you keep hiding movies behind other movies, because you'll go like, oh, here's live action Lilo and Stitch. Ooh, look at this. And then Elio is hiding in the background going, I'm a pretty good new movie. I have some things to say. I have good animation. But do you get... You get nothing. You get nothing. You are left with crumbs. So Knights of Guinevere is really cool.
Knights of Guinevere. Yeah, Knights of Guinevere is really good.
It's really good because it's co-produced by Glitch Studios. Glitch Productions? Yes. What's their name?
Glitch something. Yeah, Glitch.
We know.
Yes. And they've done Digital Circus, which is something that I have not seen yet. We potentially have to make an episode on it. I know you've been telling me to watch it. There's only 6 episodes. I need to watch it. Just put that on air. That way I can post-production Taylor. You heard this too.
Can listen. Yep.
You need to watch Digital Circus after you get done editing the episode.
Yes. And the thing is, they go by so quickly, and you will rewatch them several times. It is a delicious show. You can eat it. All the textures are so fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
So okay, Knights of Guinevere. For real this time.
For real.
So kind of we'll just do it basically how, I know it's a pilot episode. The episode's like 26 minutes. We'll kind of do it like we usually do with some of our movies and stuff like that. So we'll go like initial thoughts, plot and characters, any kind of theories you have, because this is a pilot episode, and then kind of get into like some of the symbolism and stuff like that of, I guess, Knights of Guinevere and Dana Terrace's world building and stuff like that. So, Kayla, I guess initial thoughts on your first watch. You don't have to get into anything specific, but like, what are your like initial thoughts on just the show in general?
So I saw teasers for this trailer years ago. This has been something in the works for a while. There's a video of Guinevere lying down, very Snow White-esque, and then flashes of horror type deal. So when I had seen that, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what this is, but it's beautiful. And then when I found out it was from the creator of Owl House, because I'm like, there's something here that feels familiar to me. I was like, I'm there for it. If you guys haven't seen Owl House, wow. That show, especially if you love D&D, that show is for you. It is so well done. And even though the last season got cut short, it's still worth it. So, jumping into the pilot, I am immediately enraptured. Knowing that the land is called like Park Palace or Park Place, seeing all of the nods to Disney in particular. I didn't notice any other like studios. Like I didn't feel an essence of DreamWorks in there, but you know, it might be floating around somewhere. It was so well done. I think that Guinevere is an amazing character. I want to know what's going on with that little girl. Like in the pilot, she jumps from being a little girl to an elderly, sickly old woman. In 2 seconds, and the timeline for me is weird because Francis and
it's Frankie and Andy.
Frankie, yeah, thank you. They aren't that much older. Like,
no,
yeah, they're like young adults. So I'm like, how is this little girl 1,000 years old?
Yeah.
Someone tell me what's going on. So there were a lot of fun things to view, to listen to. Did you happen to notice the QR code that was hidden in the show?
No.
Not hidden, it was in plain sight. Okay. So
I think it was okay, but pause real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
So you know I type notes when I watch stuff.
Yes.
So I want to. It could have been something where I was like, I saw something and was typing it out and then just missed it. So I did not see the QR code.
Oh, can I give you the fun little tidbit?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so in the scene where the guy who owns the boat, the one with one eye,
Sparky.
When Sparky is lying down under the umbrella, there are a bunch of like brochures and trash around him. And one of the brochures has a straight up QR code. And I didn't scan it because when I first saw it, I've seen it twice already, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's there. But as an artist, I should know everything's intentional. So I should have scanned it, but I was just enraptured. So when you scan the code, it takes you to a website that kind of gives you some of Guinevere's lore, and it's this like spooky website. You see her in the front, and there's this forest behind her with a bunch of like red X's and symbols and things, very much giving when Snow White walks through the forest at night and there are a bunch of eyes looking at her. So it gives you a little bit of story, and there's a little, I think it's a game, if I remember correctly from seeing the person on TikTok review it. But I was like, wow, how fun. I'm sure there's going to be so many more of those within the show. So now my peepers are open. Open. Yeah. So there's just so much thought into the show, and Glitch just has good people. You know, they have good animators. They know what they're doing. So, yeah. Those are my initial thoughts. Really cool, fun little secrets.
Yeah.
Great.
I think for me,
and
go ahead.
The sun robot is hot. The sun and moon robot are hot, but specifically the giant sun robot, hot.
The one towards the end?
The way he speaks! I was watching it and Samuel like turned and looked at me and I was like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Arrest thy steps.
Arrest me!
I was like, oh
Take me away!
Oh my God.
He's so hot. Add him to my repertoire.
Jesus. I'll what I will say for those that are listening and are watching, I'm just gonna put a big spoiler warning on from this point on. to the rest of the episode, we will be spoiling it. Please go watch Knights of Guinevere on Glitch's YouTube channel. It is only 25 minutes long. You probably can. We'll go watch it and then come back to this episode. It'd be fine.
Yeah, you'll probably watch it twice.
Yeah, like it'll be perfectly fine. So I guess for my initial thoughts, I think the world building is some of the coolest thing. Some of the coolest thing I've seen in a while, because of like some of the other, like paralleling some of the other pieces of media that I've watched that take on this specific topic. So like when it comes to, I think that there's no stranger to say like people take not necessarily shots, but people sometimes will do in their media, whether it be video games or television or movies, they will take the image of Disney and Mickey Mouse as a flagship character, and they'll use it as some sort of parallel or some sort of motif that kind of goes that's like throughout the entirety of whatever it is, right? Like you saw it with like Bendy and the Magic Ink is a riff on Disney. Like the titular scary character is kind of like Mickey Mouse. One of my favorite manga of all time, Billy Bat. There's Billy Bat, the character is, and some of the iterations of him in that story are centered around Mickey Mouse and like Disney and how they operate as a business. Okay. And so Knights of Guinevere is no stranger to this, considering that Dana Terrace used to work at Disney, and it's kind of like a very, it's not like a subtle thing, like Planet, whatever, something Planet, was it Park Planet or whatever?
Park Planet, I believe.
Park Planet is literally just like Magic Kingdom. It's like these big bombastic rides and stuff like that. One thing I think that is different, and this is why I love the world building of this show so much, is that usually when it's a riff on Disney, it's pointing at Mickey Mouse as like the flagship character. Instead, with this one, it twists it a little bit to where now it kind of goes in something different that Disney also is known for, which is the princess genre.
Yes.
And I think that like instead of it being this small little cartoonish character, it's like the other big attraction that people go to Disney for, which is to interact with the princess characters.
I have to say something because I will forget. Okay, so this is really important to me because lately in Disney, we keep getting the same princess face. I've mentioned this before. It happened with Rapunzel. Rapunzel Entangled threw Disney for a loop. The girls went crazy. Rapunzel and her face and the style of that animation really took off. This is that was the first movie after Princess and the Frog that stopped the drawing animation, like going from traditional to computerized, mostly computerized or all computerized animation. After Rapunzel, when we had Frozen, Elsa and Anna, and even Moana, we start to see the same face. It's big eyes, little mouth, very round face with a tiny pointy chin. All the princesses look the same. Now, mind you, back in the day, back in the 90s and before, the princesses did have an aesthetic, but they weren't cookie cutter. Their faces all look different. Ariel doesn't look like Belle, and Belle doesn't look like Jasmine, and Jasmine doesn't look like Pocahontas, and Pocahontas doesn't look like Aurora. Like, they all look different. If you layer Rapunzel, Elsa, and Anna, that's the same girl. That's the same girl with different hair and freckles. Okay? So, when I saw Guinevere showing up in different outfits, so like she has her Little Mermaid type outfit, she has her, her big ball gown princess fit, very Cinderella-esque. They are literally yelling at how the princesses carry themselves in the parks. But one step further, that they took from the actual, like, the rules of a Disney park. So the reason why Mickey is not in two places at once, or any character for that matter, is because there should never be more than one for a child to see at the same time, because it gets rid of the magic. It makes the illusion go away. Yes. which is also why it's a reason why they ended up getting rid of Talking Mickey. There used to be a Talking Mickey when you first walked into Magic Kingdom. To the left, it's like a magician Mickey. But kids and people started asking why other Mickeys don't talk. That one did. They didn't. Magic broken.
That makes sense.
So what's really cool about Guinevere is they already built in if you meet Guinevere in this area and then you see her again in one of her other like robots or droids, they are all connected through this hive mind, computer system that lets them know who's this child, what's the last interaction we had with them, like really, really, really building the story. And I'm sure if Disney had the technology to build animatronics, which will end up in a Five Nights at Freddy's situation, I'm sure. But if Disney had the power to build animatronics, that's how it would be. They would be walking around the parks, and they would remember each and every child. Like, it'd be face scans. It'd be everything. They would have everything down for that child so that the memories and the magic, like, exist forever. And that's crazy. Okay, now I can step back. It was just
very scary.
My brain was just like, they're taking that from the park rules.
yeah, and so it's that's why I like the world building so much, because it's a different play on the parallels of Disney. And I think that instead of going for, hey, this is the flagship character that's like that looks like this, and instead of being, because in a lot of situations it's the flagship character, and then you have the man behind the flagship character is like the one pulling the strings, who's kind of evil, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of have that with this one, right? With like I forgot the dude's name, but he's like the Walt Disney type of creator of Park Planet or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like you see him, and then he starts to introduce like Gwen as a character, as multiple characters, whatever. But instead of it being this like cartoonish character that's drawn, it's like a kind of like a physical being that matters in the story, if that makes sense.
It does.
And so like, and I love like his intros, like, oh, here I'm introduced by Gwen, and yeah, you guessed it, Gwen again. And I was like, that's just, I was like, that's awesome how they could just keep doing these Gwen iterations for androids, and new versions keep coming out. And that's why like, obviously when the beginning of the show with like that one Gwen model like flees and runs away, and like the new Gwen model that you see in some of the other iterations don't look slightly different. It just kind of goes to show like the evolution of Park Planet and what they have what they've done, I guess, for their park. So super, super cool. As far as the characters, because I want to talk about the actual story now for the pilot. I love Francesca and Andrea are their full government names. Or Sparky calls Frankie Franklin, which is pretty funny.
Right.
And I think that they are, and again, adding to the world building as far as the plot goes, I love the dynamic between the two of them, where one is like shows you the not necessarily like the highs of Park Planet, like what everybody like wants to see, like the glitz and glamour and stuff like that. It's mostly like a ground level, like you're what are those the engineers, like the magical engineers or whatever they're called? Imagineers, yeah. Like basically you're like Andy's an Imagineer, and Frankie is like a construction, like on the ground level, like construction, not construction, like factory worker that makes merchandise, and like fishes for scraps to repurpose new materials and new merchandise to sell, which is like a really cool. And then you see like people throwing trash over the top of Park Planet into the water for then Frankie and Sparky to like fish out, which I think is like such a cool element of world building for something like this.
It reminded me of that new anime that
Gotcha Yakuza.
Yeah, like a garbage world basically, and it's making the people sick. They are having to deal with all the plastic and poison that goes into making all those toys. what I wanted to say when you brought up the Imagineers, it's so funny because Andy is the example of making it into working at one of these places, which you should feel like is one of the most magical places on Earth. And her pain with having to work there and being hated by people for working there. And then Frankie is like, oh my God, it must be the most magical place. And Andy doesn't want to get rid of that illusion for her. Trying their darndest to not break it for Frankie. Speaking of Frankie, how do you feel about the hallucinations that they see when it comes to like the toys?
I think that it's interesting because I have some theories on like who or what Frankie and Andy are. And so like it's I think Frankie's hallucinations I think are more so born from a naivety about the world and a lack of like true human connection outside of Andy. Like she has such a very like emotional attachment to the little gadgets and whatever that she makes, that she engineers, that they kind of manifest as her friends. Because especially because like Andy goes to work and she's there forever. She's there for long hours. Like all Andy really, all Frankie really has besides Sparky is those little gadgets that she makes, the little doodads, and like the hacker things, like the little frog, all that kind of stuff. And so, I think also too, it all of these like they serve like the little hallucination of the little trinkets, and then that scene where they get trapped in that like Epcot shaped ball. In the abandoned lab, and they get thrown, and like while Frankie's knocked out, she has like a vision of Guinevere, saying like, "Oh, like come with me, like come with me," or like she tries to go to Guinevere, still having that naivety about like everything in Park Planet being really nice, and Guinevere giving these nice memories. Only to be like, and I think like the cliche like pulling away from the dream is overdone a lot of time, but I thought this one worked really well. Her getting pulled out of that like illusion to show like, hey, like we're in a dire situation, like we're about to die. So yeah, I just think it's kind of plays into, like you said, Frankie having this idea of like, oh, like working for Park Planet must be this magical place. And Guinevere, when we met her for the first time as kids, she gave us such a great feeling that I want to recreate that feeling. I want to work there so I can do that. And it's like Andy doesn't want to diminish that dream but you can see it. She gets fired. She can't. So her job is like, configuring certain things for facial expressions, and she couldn't do it. And she gets fired. And she's like, this place sucks to work, and I'm hated for it at the same time. You know, I just think, I like their dynamic in that regard.
I do too. So I have a theory, and I don't think that I'm right, but it's a theory. I think that Frankie is sick. The reason being is because they happen to work in really toxic areas.
Yes.
You're building those plastic toys, which are getting heated, so there's toxins in the air from the overheating of plastic and blah, blah, blah. No one's wearing a mask in that factory.
Andy is the only one that has access to one.
Exactly. And also, when Frankie deals with the trash, the water is putrid with oil and all this stuff, and they work through it, and they're touching everything, and they're sorting trash. Sometimes with the little clicker thingy, what is it called? The little. I
know you're talking about the little
what? Grabber. It always reminds me of like the little T-Rex mouth that you like click and move over. But anyway, I think that the years of having to do those jobs that aren't necessarily safe for her body are messing with her brain. That's my theory. Because Andy's been kind of saved from that working at a higher level.
Kind of, but do you remember towards the end when her and Sparky shake hands? Do you remember hands. So I'm gonna paint the picture here.
Paint the picture.
Andy's walking home, sees like the dystopian poster boards of like jet space tours and like all that kind of stuff, like that, just a very disillusioned thing. And
yes, you're right.
That guy coughs on her face, and she puts the face mask on too late, where she's just like, she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir," but also "fuck you." Like that, she goes away,
and then she coughs later. Well, not coughs.
So she spits in her hand, and her and Sparky shake hands to like seal the bet. Sparky takes his hand. The camera intentionally looks at the middle, and there's blue stuff, like the stuff that got coughed on her. So I think it's twofold. I think both Frankie and Andy are both sick. In different ways. In different ways.
One is more physical, and then one has become
psychological.
Still physical, but psychological. Yes.
Yes.
So for sure, because there's ramifications to that overproduction and overselling, and just I always think of the Grinch when it's like, all your presents end up here in my garbage. Like every year, I want a pony so I can ride it, so then I sell it for glue. Like it's that. It's literally that.
Yeah.
Over consumerism type beat.
Yeah, and
it's so good.
And it all goes back to just like, I think somebody that has worked in Disney as long a time as Dana has. Yeah. I think it's just like very easy for her to kind of pick on these specific aspects of Disney. And look, you and Zoe and I have been a part of y'all Disney trips, so I can't sit here and act like I'm absolved from any of the ever turning wheel of Disney capitalism. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like but like you said, the consumerism and it how it affects a lot of stuff, because God knows how much waste and garbage that goes through Disney across all the parks on a given day. Like that's just insane globally.
We got 2 in China, we have 2 in Japan, we have 1 in Europe, we have 2 in America, like 1 in Hawaii. Not a park, but big hotel. And that's true too. All the hotels. There's so much. There's so much.
Like the amount of wasted merch on the just think about the plastics and stuff like that. All the merchandise they try to sell on a daily basis that doesn't get that, like they have an excess of. Like, what do they do with that? You know what I'm saying?
It's hard because there's this conversation that a lot of artists have, and people in general, but sometimes when you are viewing something, are you viewing it or judging it because of the actual art or the artist? So, for example, there can be like a Pollock, for example. Pollock stole the idea of those splashes from his wife. But he's the one that made it famous. It revolutionized art for what it was in the abstract world and blah, 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 blah. He himself, though, not a good person. So are you going to judge the art because of the person? Or like Andy Warhol, for example. I despise that man. But am I going to hate on him for who he was as a person? Or am I going to hate on his art because maybe I just don't like his art? His art's fine, by the way. Whatever. Yeah. I also understand what it did. But when it comes to Disney, I also am face to face with it every time I go, where I'm like, the way that Disney makes me feel because of the nostalgia and the memories and things that I've been through with my family there and back with the day when I was in choir. Like, there's so many parts of Disney that bring so much good.
Right.
And then we see the world as it is, and we go, we have to not all the time. Like when Jimmy Kimmel got canceled for saying some of his opinions.
Yes.
On TV, and then it got canceled, and then Disney retroactively was like, well, we don't mean it. And the only reason why they were like, we don't mean it, we'll give him his job back, is because they lost $4 million or more in revenue because people canceled their Disney Plus subscription. And it hurt them. It hurt them where it hurt.
They saw that stock drop in real time, and they were like,
don't mean that. Well, you can have him back.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, sorry, our stock is dropping. Okay, let's bring Kitty back.
Exactly. And that's the thing where it's like people in that case disassociated the art from the artist and said, no matter how much I love Disney, I'm not cool with this, so I'm going to peel away some of the layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the Knights of Guinevere does that so well because you're thrown into it. Now, I have another theory for you that I read online, and I want to hear your opinion.
Okay.
Because I think it's really cool. So, people are saying that Guinevere herself is actually supposed to be a representation of the evil stepmother or someone who was forced to have children, and she doesn't want to be. She wants to be free. But the main little girl character needs that type of figure in her life. So she keeps trying to pull in and make her the perfect princess mother figure that she wanted. This is hinted, kind of, sort of, in the way that the Walt Disney type character told little girl, he's like, oh, I know it's not the same or like what you wanted. I don't know if he's a robot. I don't know if he's an illusion. I don't know what's up with that little girl or how long she like how old is she in that instance? Like, what is she? But there's this feeling of like her going, I'm gonna just rebuild this character and fix it until I'm satisfied, until it works for me. And she doesn't have a mother in this world. She has that father figure, but no mother figure. And Guinevere is kind of like I can fix her and make her pretty and make her perfect, and then I'll be perfect.
Yeah.
There's like this. So I read that from somebody on TikTok, or well, not read it. I watched it from someone's review on TikTok, which if I remember, I will try to add it here somewhere. I will give it to you. But I'm like, that's a really interesting idea because sometimes the stepmother is painted evilly all the time. But some of them, like, not all stepmoms are evil. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, that's not what it's supposed to be. It's that Guinevere wants her own life. She wants to make her own decisions. And now there's a child involved, a child that she didn't even ask for.
Right. Like, she's not programmed to do, well, that one specifically may have been programmed, but like, I think the way in which that
keeps trying to escape
model has been treated, they make a note to say, like, it seems like she's tried to escape multiple times.
Multiple times is definitely
because of how many times she's been had to like get like probably broken down and reassembled and had her wires fixed all the time. And
I think she might be the only bio robot. Like, she's the only one that actually has like organs and bits and bobs, where I feel like the other Guineveres, those androids are strictly robotic and work off of a memory board, whatever it is that they do. I think she's the only biotech.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, do those ones share? Does that Guinevere model share the same hive mind? Because at the end, when she gets rebooted and she gets fixed up, it has that screen where it shows Kid, Frankie, and Andy.
But she is the one who met them. That was her because of that's the original Guinevere.
Yeah.
So it would feel that way to her because those are her own memories. Whether she's connected to the other ones or not, that would be the last time that she saw them. So this is all the memory that she has.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she's connected because other Guineveres would have seen them at some point. At least the other one, at least the one that works for the park.
Yeah, because I mean, like, then it begs the question, like, are the other Guineveres also have bio organs in them too? Because it's like, how are these? I think obviously these are probably going to be questions that are going to be answered
later, right? But I love a fan theory,
and it's a pilot. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to watch more episodes. It's not like 100%, we're not
100%.
So like, I wonder. No, go ahead.
No. You go first because I have a rebuttal.
Gonna say, like, I think that obviously we're gonna get to know across the story if they make more episodes how the Gwens are built
Yes.
And I think that it could lead into why the girl is sickly, maybe, potentially, perhaps. Because who are those made animatronics are different models, and those Sun and Moon Knights are also different models as well that she's built. So it's just kind of like trying to figure out how they're made. And I personally think that all of them have like that bodily organ stuff.
So here's the thing. I think that they're trying to make it for all the animatronics, but they're unsuccessful. So when you see Andy first in their house trying to fix that like dino head, whatever.
Yeah.
She mentioned something about there being like the biomechanics of it, and then she's like, oh my god, I have so many tests to run tonight and they're not working, and all of that stuff spills. And I think that Guinevere is the first fully successful bio robot, which is why she's so special. And it hasn't been able to be replicated again in that way, which is why the Sun and Moon animatronics, although they have bio in their mech works, it doesn't look human. That arm looks disfigured. Guinevere doesn't look disfigured at all. She's perfect, quote unquote. So there's something about, I think they're trying to replicate what they did with this one perfect, maybe freak accident that they made this human robot, and it's not working. And Disney, this Bark Blaze is pushing for that perfection and going like, we have to do it. It's what works. We see it work. Why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Tying back to, we realize that we've done it in the past. We've made so many good movies that bring people to the parks, that bring people to the movie theaters. What's the special sauce that's missing to give them that love again? What's the formula? Why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Man, I love this show. It's so good.
So good.
It's so good.
So good. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I know to kind of bring it back to the theory about like the stepmother or whatever. I do think that it could be, you know, like a Frankenstein's monster situation where maybe the dad, or if he's a figment of her imagination, we don't know yet. I feel like
robot he's or a hologram.
I think he's real. I think he might be real, but I think his issue is like he's the neglectful father scenario where he was so worried about the wrong things when it came to his daughter. Like he wanted to give her a place to have fun and play, but it became way bigger than what he originally had hoped. And he's such a, you know, a visionary, like, you know, like a Walt Disney type of character. I mean, that's just how he's presented. That he created this huge planet that people can live on and like have fun all the time. Like the very upper echelon rich people go to all the time to live. And he became so laser focused on that, but also
became neglectful.
Was disillusioned into thinking that this is what he was going to do to make his daughter happy. All she really probably wanted was just a loving father. And then he probably, because of the neglect, the mother was probably resentful and probably took it out on the child. And then when the mother passed, for some odd reason, maybe, and you know what? She could, like that Gwen bot could have killed her. Let's just be honest. Like I would not put that. I would not, that too. I would not put that out of the question. Like a.
This episode is called Kayla and Taylor fill in the show with all of their own ideas. Literally, Dana sitting in a studio somewhere going, "You're wrong." But I think a good show, a show that makes you jump down the rabbit hole and start getting into like fan theories, or a good game or good movie, whatever. I think those are the most successful because you will keep picking up your stuff and going back and going, okay, is this theory right? Is this theory right? Where am I at? That's like crack. It's literally like, it's the best part of any merchandise, franchise, whatever.
And it's interesting because like, this is something that I don't think Dana is new to, because people are doing it with Owl House all the time. Even though personally I have not, or just certain Disney shows in general, like I know we kind of like try to like
maybe say it.
Try to say that we knew. Wait. I'm trying to say that we knew that she worked on Gravity Falls. Like, we don't know if that for sure.
Oh,
but true. I think with something like Owl House, and people were making theories on Owl House, and I have not seen the show. I feel like I need to, but
you do.
People were making theories on what certain things mean. Same thing with the show. Like,
Dana
she did work on
Gravity Falls.
Okay, so Gravity Falls was the same exact way. Where we were trying to theory craft. We were trying to like figure out exactly what each thing meant with new piece of information. Like, do you remember like all of the theories about Bill Cipher and the fucking things that you saw in the openings of the show, like the opening little
and all, like,
credit
the codes
scene
at the end.
Like people trying to figure that out. The codes at the end of the episodes after the credits were over. Like, I think she knows how important that is to certain shows, especially in the animation scene. And so her putting in the QR codes and putting in like the different types of like foreshadowing and subtext that you can me and you can sit here and yap about all the time.
A yummy little trail of crumbs for us to dissect. Like, I know, Dana, I'm looking at you, girl. The day you release an art book about this show, I will be there. I will be there in the front lines. I had all of the
because the artwork in the end credits was phenomenal.
Delectable. Gorgina. It was so good. It makes me sick. And I think that, like, especially, I don't have a Twitter or a Blue Sky, but I have friends that do, and because of that, they will send me things. Exactly, you send me stuff all the time, so I can just like eat it up. And I know the artists on Twitter right now are eating the house down boots, because I've seen some repost to TikTok. They'll do like their like the time lapses, and oh my god, there was one that they did this like triptych panel of Guinevere with the knights, but like with one of her being like broken. I need prints to go all over my walls, because it's perfect.
Are you talking about like the there's like one drawing at the end of like when the credits are over, and it's like the majestic Gwen bot, and she's like has her hands on top of like a knight that looks like Frankie, and a knight that looks like Andy. I think and like the disheveled like Gwen bot that they find is in the middle. Is that what you're talking about?
They did like a revamped version of it. So the triptych is the little girl is at a silhouette at the top looking sideways. Okay. Kind of like how they do this all the time. It's like kind of, you see her profile, and it's very lightly you can see her. And then Guinevere's at the top with her arms out, like spread, almost looking like if she's about to puppeteer, but just kind of like over these two other panels. And beneath pretty Guinevere is broken Guinevere, looking like a princess, but kind of like very Corpse Bride-esque, almost like ripped, tattered dress, things like that. And then the knights on the side. I think it's inspired by that last panel, but I can't wait to follow a whole bunch of new artists like on Instagram and stuff, just to watch. That's it brings me joy.
And then one thing I'll say, like, that I think is really cool about this show is not necessarily the subject matter. I think now Dana has more of room to explore more adult types of dialogue and character interactions now. Yes. Because obviously, again, haven't seen Owl House, but I'm very aware that Owl House tackled very adult themes. I know Gravity Falls, in some aspects, tackled adult themes. I think there are certain parts of those shows that adults can also like kind of wrap their heads around. Yeah. And
because animation is for everyone.
Yeah,
and I think that has been lost for a very long time.
And so you have a situation now where like Dana can kind of do whatever she wants to do with this show. Yeah. And so you have, like, I know it doesn't sound like a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but just having characters in animation swear, and they don't like swear, but it seems natural in the conversation. And it doesn't seem like because my biggest gripe with adults animation is that, one, they all look the same, and two, it's mostly just like raunchy humor for the sake of
Every
raunchy
time.
humor
Yes.
and bad language, and it's like it's not actually being a good animated show.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be like silly, goofy. It's so like adult animation is always like South Park, Family Guy, American Dad, Big Mouth, and then they have like some that lean more towards like the heartfelt ones, which is like Bob's Burgers. I'm trying to think of like other adult good kind animation shows. But you see how like they're all a very specific type of show where it's like we can have fantasy content in animation geared towards adults, and like I think like preteen is fine in this context, maybe not kids early on, but
like,
you know,
Futurama. That's what I'm thinking about it. Like
Futurama is another good example. It's sometimes it's so nice just to have like really good animation quality, like Gravity Falls, Owl House, Star versus the Forces of Evil. There's so, I mean, I could do vomit of cartoons forever, but I believe you, or I agree with you when you talk about like it could just be a show that's brought to the level of them being adults, plus them being adult characters, so that we can connect with them. If Andy and Frankie were teeny boppers and like 13 and 12, we wouldn't relate to them as well, because
I wouldn't be not
as
uncomfortable.
immersed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be as immersed. I wouldn't be uncomfortable with them saying like fuck or shit in there in the show, because as a 13-year-old I was also swearing, so it doesn't really matter. But like
my mom says I can say swear words.
Like, yeah. But like it wouldn't click for me.
It wouldn't feel the same.
I mean, yes, like 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds do swear.
Yeah.
Like I work at a high school, so it is what it is. I work at a middle school, high school. So like I see it all, I hear it and see it all the time. Yeah. But like it doesn't, for some reason, this context, it just wouldn't have.
Let me tell you,
I wouldn't have been immersed in it.
If Gravity Falls, Grunkle Stan always sounds like he's kind of gonna cuss. Yes. So like Grunkle Stan, Grunkle Ford, never Seuss, because Seuss would never cuss, but Wendy would. I feel like those characters, if they started cussing, I'd be like, oh, this is a show for adults, because the adults are doing their thing. But I feel you. But it would never be like Dipper and Mabel, because if Dipper and Mabel cuss, I'd be like, my babies.
That is literally Big Mouth, is what that is. It's like those kids are like 11, 12, like middle schoolers, right? Swearing like sailors, and it's like season 1, funny as hell. I get it, right? Season 2 till however many fucking seasons that dumbass show has, right? Like it became less funny and was more like, all right, dude, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? You know?
That's why some people lose their love for like Has-Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss. Like it's placed like in the demon world, and so and like they're all sinner themed, and it's very much giving that vibe. And every other word is a cuss word. And some people literally are like, I can't follow along. It feels
I'm one of those people.
It's cringy.
I'm one of those people.
Unfortunately, the inner thespian in me, it's such a theater kid show, bro. Like I can't. I'm like, I get it. This is for the weirdos. I get it. But
as somebody that had friends that were theater kids in high school, like, so 2 of my best friends in high school were theater kids.
Exactly.
Get it. You know what I'm saying? I really do get it.
We listen, sometimes we break into song and we have to like sing our feelings.
It is
that's
what it is.
Do. Yeah.
They were a great time.
But yeah, I think Knights of Guinevere does something so successfully. Whatever that thing is, I do not yet know, but it has the it factor. It has the wow factor. It's doing it. And the only problem is, when it comes to indie shows, the painful part is waiting forever for a crumb. Literally me staring into the eyes of worthy kids going, Big Top Burger, new season when? Big Top Burger, more. Papa, more movie. Like, I need, but I have to be patient because Worthy Kids makes art.
Yeah.
And I have to be
And they're
patient with the
making
art.
all that in Blender, which is insane to me.
Which is crazy.
Like, they're making an entire show in
Town,
Blender.
USA. What are we talking about? Do you like suffering?
Like, I can't even imagine. I just, as a random aside, because we're almost done with the episode, I think, I saw it was like, why does every Blender, it's like somebody on Twitter, it's like, I'm trying to learn Blender, but why does every single Blender tutorial try to teach me how to draw a fucking triangle? I don't want to draw a fucking triangle. It's like, not a single Blender tutorial is actually helpful at all.
No. It's literally those memes where it's like, okay, here's how you draw this character. Here's a circle. And then they're like, and here's the lines to separate the face. And then there's the character. And I'm like, I'm not trying to Squidward SpongeBob my way through this art. I need help.
Right. Like, give me a step by step.
Yes. Please,
so
God.
Funny. But yeah, that's just the tough luck you get with indie productions, is it takes forever to kind of have a new show. But like, hopefully, with Glitch, what I'm saying, not lucked out, but Glitch came across a gold mine with Digital Circus because it got picked up by Netflix. So that's an encouraging sign, and so they might be able to throw some money at Knights of Guinevere to kind of get the more episodes rolling a little bit. So
please,
that would be really helpful. I think the last thing I think is just like, I think with a show like this, it's I'm really excited to see like how it progresses.
It's already so good. It's gonna keep being peak.
Because I mean, and this is mostly an anime podcast. We talk about mostly anime shows from Japan, but obviously, I think something like Knights of Guinevere is important for American animation.
Yes,
because of just like,
we can't just keep mentioning Avatar.
we can't keep mentioning Avatar. We can't keep mentioning, but like, what sucks about American, I think, like action cartoons specifically, is that they don't sell, like, if like, I'll think what show was it? Generator Rex. You remember that show?
Vaguely.
It was probably one of the better like Cartoon Network shows out
Generator
there.
X?
Rex. Generator REX. He's like an orange, like a reddish jacket. He has these like glasses that are like yellow.
Oh, yes. I remember this. This was made by the same people that made Ben 10. I'm like 80% sure.
Same thing with like Symbiotic Titan and like Jendi, whatever his name is. Zoe would know. Zoe would know how to pronounce his last name.
Zoe would know.
But the thing is with those, like, they're such good shows. But the problem is they didn't sell enough toys, so the show got canceled. Yeah. And it's like that's not like, continue with good cartoons. Obviously, like, I think the regular shows and the Adventure Times and all that kind of stuff, those kind of cartoons did well. Big City Greens, Craig of the Creek is doing well. Yeah, like those are doing well. I think that as far as finding that line between having, obviously those are mostly kid shows. Yeah. And then having like super, we talk about this, super raunchy and just like overly crass adult TV shows. Yeah. Like, I think like Knights of Guinevere is a really good happy medium where like, as an adult, I can watch this show and be like genuinely into it. Yeah. And not feel like it's some kind of crazy crash show that's just showing stuff for shock value either, Yep. And like, there are shows like that do a really good job with that. Like, one of my favorite shows of all time is Archer. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. It's obviously H. John Benjamin, Boz. It's the same Boz Burgers guy, and they've had crossover episodes before, which is really funny.
I do love that. I mean, his voice is iconic.
Yes, it is.
Whatever the main character of Archer is, his name Archer in the main. Yes, it's Archer. I never see. Okay, so him and Bob, that man has the perfect voice. Yes, and he does a good job of being like family friendly and being like a more mature main character. He does a really good job with that. That's good. But like that, even that show is
it's like it's like a funny, like kind of raunchy take on spies, right? And a lot of the jokes are very like it's heavy with sex and drugs and all that kind of stuff, but it's not doing it for the sake of just being raunchy. Like it's just funny.
Okay.
And so like I think that's the kind of thing I'm getting at is like I hope like more shows like Knights of Guinevere are like can take off a little bit, because I think it's a good happy medium between really good animation and having more adult themes in it.
Yeah.
For American cartoons.
Right. And adult themes not just being sex. It has to be adult themes of dealing with like grief and dealing with death and dealing with mental illness. Like, let us have that too, you know? Because I feel like every single time that an animation is like, oh well, we gotta appeal to adults. They're like, well, if we throw sex in it, we will. It's like, no. Just make a show that you would have made with real people into an animation. That's why anime is so successful. Anime is literally just a novela that's been animated. I say that. I tell my mom all the time, because when I was younger, my mom was always like, why do you like this anime thing? And I'm like, Mommy, you're watching your novelas about the girl that's being cheated on and he has a twin brother that comes back from the dead? Mira, I have something to say. And she's like, oh, okay then. And I'm like, we're good.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
It's literally all it is. They just animated it instead of giving it to actors. So
yeah.
Wow, this is probably one of my favorite episodes that we recorded.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. We were just throwing theories out of nowhere. Just
theories out the butt. Just like, so good. I love that. Good subject.
Such a great, I had fun. I had fun recording today. That's a lot of information I take in though. I had to watch Perfect Blue and Knights of Guinevere today, and I'm like, oh my god, my head is about to explode. My brain's about to explode right now. But yeah, you got anything else before you sign off?
Yes. Speaking of glitch, I believe I sent this over to you and Andre in our group chat. But for those of you who are just a fan of animation, as we've been talking about today, there is another one that they had that I had not seen yet, but we were on their page, and my friend Diana was like, have you seen this? You should. It's called The Gaslight District. They also released a pilot. It looks like claymation, but it's not. It's really good. Like, my eyes were boggling. They were just glued to the screen. I think they have really good characters. I think it's super spooky, ooky, creepy, just in time for Halloween. It's another short 20-ish minute episode, so take the time to watch that as well. Maybe we'll watch it again and talk about it in another episode. But
yeah, Glitch, you need to sponsor us, brother. Glitch, sponsor us.
Glitch, please. Can I voice act for one of your characters, please? Just let me do that. I'll do anything, bro. Let me just be a background character. But no, that's not what this is about. This is about the fact that I am a fan first and foremost, and I'm just so happy as an animation girly who eats this up morning, noon, and night. It's just nice. It's just nice to have good animation with cool stories.
Yep. Yes, it is. So if you sat through this entire spoiler-filled episode, you can still go watch it. Go support Glitch because they're awesome.
Yes.
Go watch Knights of Guinevere, and then you can make your own theories about what's happening. Let us know in the comments, because apparently Spotify podcast has comments now. I did not.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I was like, because somebody commented on our Narusasu episode, and it was like, 3 days ago.
Did they agree with me?
They said, no, they were talking about Zoe's rant about Aerith and Cloud and how people get pissed off about that.
Yeah. Yep.
They're like, I've never seen so many people like get angry at me over video game characters, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so leave a comment on some theories you might have on Knights of Guinevere.
Yes, so that we can look into it too.
So we can keep looking. So we'll be on the lookout for new episodes. Yeah, also be on the lookout for our spooky season series coming in October. First episode will be about Perfect Blue. It'll be me and Zoe. Kayla will unfortunately be not with us on that episode.
Listen, sometimes life is busy and we gotta take turns. So sometimes, we're gonna mix it up on you. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah. It'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that. I think that's all for us. I've been Taylor, aka Nostalgia. K likes everything. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.